O Lord, who art on high, yea, who hast made the little tiny heads, who art our souls, bless thou these people from you, that they may so verily endow the people of this planet with pleasure and enjoyment, and enable them here in this life to purchase maybe one other pair of trousers each. Thank you.
Good morning, you sorry fuckers. I bet you missed me. Well, here I am once again to spam the internet with my nonsensical nonsense. It's time for you kids to get your fingers out of your ass and realize that there's shit going on in YouTube poop that you don't know about and you need to know. And I, your sultry southern voice of YouTube poops, Mr. Stuart K. Riley, is going to tell you all about it. Now, as you know, I took a big 2-month hiatus from YouTube poop after I lost YTP News 1 and had to get another job. I stayed in Texas working on the pipeline, hundreds of miles away from my little home in Louisiana. I stayed far away in this little bitty patch of woods, no TV, no internet, no nothing. I was in the fucking dark ages. But now, thank God, that's all over with, and I'm back. Now here's what I notice is different from September 2010. 2010, oh I like that. YCP is completely different from what I remember it. Even the people are different. They don't make fun of spedinner fags anymore. In fact, they discourage making fun of them. Well, who am I gonna make fun of now? Well, I still got the sex joke crowd. I'll give them hell. A lot of my favorite big names from back in my day, Jake Steele, I'm a Person, Comglow, doesn't seem to be making that much stuff anymore. And a lot of people are starting to enjoy a more laid-back form of pooping now. I'm gonna have to watch some more to really understand it, but yeah, it seems like a shitload of editing and fast-pacedness and ear rape isn't becoming as cool as it once was. Does that mean I'm gonna change the way I do my poops? No. Speaking of which, I have a humongous mega poop in the works, which is a compilation of everything I did while I was gone. First off, I'll make this quick. Cat's out of the bag of this already, but there's a sequel to I Am Mean. It's called Chill Manor. It only has 3 cutscenes, but one of them has Mean. And on the credits of this game, it shows that the voice actor for Mean is named Peter Burkrot, and he's actually starred as a stand-in and a voice actor in many movies and games. If at all possible, I'll try my damnedest to get an interview with him. And I'll try to get Shaun of the Dead back on YouTube somehow. Also, another thing that popped up in YouTube poop just recently is this guy. Now, you boys know that just about every person I've ever talked about on a show that's made a video about YouTube poop, I have trash-talked them to hell until there was nothing left of their fame. But this guy here, I have to make an exception. This guy here is a humongous fan of YouTube poop, and he's also a college professor. Now, college professor and YouTube poop don't normally go together in the same sentence, but again, there's an exception here. This guy not only likes YouTube poops, but he finds them intriguing and artistically valuable. As in, he thinks that YouTube poop could very well be considered a form of conceptual art. Of course, he said that a few bells and whistles would have to be changed to actually make it into a piece of art, but he says there's a good groundwork going for that. Though I shouldn't put words in his mouth, let's hear what he has to say. Now keep in mind, I do like this guy, so I'm not going to trash talk him too much, but I will comment on a couple of things he said here and there. So here he is, the one and only Professor Poop.
Hi, my name's David Bailey.
Hi, David!
This message is intended for several YouTube creatives, specifically Kirkop, Milkshake Man CP, and Shroomhead1.
How do you get YouTube creatives out of YTP and Veers? I mean, they do other stuff too, but that's their main draw-in. It's those old-timey, overused, solid note YTPMVs of somebody screaming, ah! Or in Shroomhead's case, ah!
I am a professor here at Georgia Southern University.
Woo! Country boy!
My background is primarily in literature.
Bookworm!
The reason I'm creating this video is I think it's extremely important to communicate something to you guys.
Get on with it!
The work you're creating has attracted a lot of attention
Yeah, Viacom and WMG has made that quite clear to us.
of some very, very powerful academics.
Academics? You mean like other smart people watch this stuff? Real intelligent people? Not just teenagers and early 20-year-olds who can't get out of their mother's basement? Don't make me fucking laugh.
I've talked to some of them at conferences.
What types of conferences and what type of suits were involved? And was Eric Schwartz there?
We're watching you guys.
Somebody's watching me. .mp3.
And let me explain why. In the literary world, it seems like we always have an avant-garde
Could you explain that in dumbass terms? You need to remember who you're talking to here.
art movement that is usually shunned.
Shunned would be the appropriate word. YouTube poop is somewhat of a phased-out fad, and I think it's mostly because of the dinner spaghetti crap, because, like I've said 100 times, that's normally the first thing people see when they see a YouTube poop. And once they see that, they decide they don't like it, and they start telling everybody else, don't watch this shit, it's fucking awful.
Often has its roots in some form of subculture. What you guys are doing is a little unprecedented. The creative work that you're throwing together is made primarily of existing content.
What? So Guanum isn't a figment of my imagination? It's somebody else's crap that I glitched up?
But you take this stuff and you use it to create something new. Now,
there you go.
I want to make a brief comment about where I've seen this movement going. I've been watching YouTube poops.
It is so weird to me to hear a smart, normal person say the words YouTube poop
for some time because I found them oddly amusing. And at first, they were very juvenile things.
Juvenile?
Gannon's no match for the dinner.
Very, very raucous humor.
Sex jokes, perhaps?
Oftentimes pushing the edge of societal norms.
Oh, holy Christ! There's a freaking telescope growing out of my fucking eye!
I always knew there was potential to this stuff, but you three in particular have shown me that this remix art...
Every time you call YouTube poop art, another YCP member dies.
...can do some very unique and, in my opinion, important things.
That's very important!
Now, you're going to have to grow beyond the YouTube poop mythos, beyond the YouTube poop language.
I agree with this. It's not like everybody would get the inside jokes that's involved in YouTube poop, even the simplest one that we all know. Which to me, it's funny because nobody else gets it. And I like to laugh at the fact that nobody knows what I'm talking about, or pooping about, or whatever. But yeah, if YouTube poop was going to be brought to the masses, yeah, that would have to change some.
You guys have to come up with some new name for what you're doing.
Yeah, what?
You guys have to come up with some new name for what you're doing.
Listen at this boy. He's wanting to even change the name of YouTube poop. Listen at this. Which again, I'm going to have to agree. If YouTube poop was going to get out there in front of people, it couldn't be called YouTube poop anymore. It would have to be called something else, even if it kept the name poop, which probably that had to be taken away to kind of appeal to other people, but who cares? It's not going to happen.
And it's also going to be extremely important that one of you, preferably a group of you out there, and like I said, this isn't just to this three, this is all of you creatives out there. There needs to be a manifesto. You guys need to understand what you're doing. You need to make some type of statement to the artistic world.
You might as well have asked what came first, the chicken or the egg, if God invented the world or a Big Bang did, if we're from monkeys or biochemically enhanced skunks. No one person can make a definition of YouTube poop, and that's what you're asking for. You're asking for a big list of ideas on how to explain YouTube poop. Now, I could write some ideas on YouTube poop. I could tell you what I think of it. I could tell you what I think it means. But it's not going to be the true gospel. Because with YouTube poop, there is no true gospel. But I tell you what, if you're watching this, David Bailey, call me on Skype or something. I'll probably explain it to you in my own way. Yeah, I really want to talk to this kid because I do like what he's saying, even though it's kind of far-fetched. I still want to hear what he has to say. And I need to get to this boy quick because from the sound of it, he's going to be running around with a bad crowd of poopers. Shroomhead, Milkshake, Kirkop, they're all in this big elite group of YTPMVers that's all elitist and crap, even more so than I am. And they are by far nothing like what YouTube poop should be. But, you know, that's just my saying.
I'm very, very impressed with some of the things you guys have been doing. And I honestly believe that this is the beginning of some new artistic movement that could theoretically get mass-wide, mass-stream appeal. I mean...
Now, if that really did happen, I would be surprised because that's been one of my dreams, like a TV show about YouTube poop or something along that line. That was one of my big inspirations for the news show, the fact that there's no TV show for YouTube poop, and there probably never will be.
To give you a little bit of background, this is an important book for you to read. This is User. It was published at MIT.
If that's a Phil Phillips book, I'm not touching it.
Artistic movements have their journals. For you guys, it might become very important to have a central space.
YCP and Skype, those are our central spaces. That's where we do our shit.
For you to post the work that you deem the most creative, the best among your community.
A YouTube poop archive of the best poops. Man, that'd go downhill fast. Dude, Loud's the best YouTube poop ever. Nuh-uh. Chaz Did for Children make the best YouTube poop ever. No, Hot on Our Tail. No, Invisible Tag Pong. Invisible Tag Pong.
And to create a language of criticism, a language that assesses how good these creations are and somehow quantifies them. Personally, Kirkop, I would nominate you in this category.
What?
Be one of the first to dictate these terms.
Okay, why the fuck is my dick jizzing blood? Oh yeah, Mr. Bailey here, Professor Poop, he wants to put Kirkop in charge of YouTube poop. Let me remind you that Kirkop only has a small cult following. Nobody really knows who he is. And generally, unless poopers know who somebody is, they're not going to pay attention to him. Trust me, I know. I mean, I'm sorry to bring you down like that, but it really needs to be somebody who's been around YouTube poop a little longer than that and has a little bit of a bigger following. A person who, if it had to be one lone person dictating YouTube poop, it just had to be, it would have to be somebody who knew everything, well, just about everything of all these styles of YouTube poop, had a good knowledge of them, knew of all the sources that were always out every day, which ones were used good and which ones were overused, all the fads, and would have to keep a daily watch over YouTube to make sure nothing changes. You know, the sad thing is that's what I have to do for the damn news show.
That's what you're going to have in order to be taken seriously.
YouTube poop is serious business. People hate it when I say that and mean it. Ha ha ha.
I'm taking a big risk by communicating this with you guys because professionally there's a lot of resistance to this, but
Ooh.
I have that much faith in you. I've seen amazing stuff, and I've talked again with some important people who are very fascinated with what you're doing.
I wonder what would happen if a whole bunch of professors got a hold of YouTube poop. We have the technology. We can make it faster, harder, better, louder, more obnoxious, more sauce, more sentence mixing.
I'm very well aware that this video could possibly end up being remixed and come back to me. I mean, I wouldn't dare request it because I've seen what happens to those people and I don't want it to happen to me.
Ah, yes, YouTube poop has had its share of bad apples.
Fucking skunk.
They're so bad!
But, you guys are awesome, and coming from a professor, you need to hear that type of encouragement. I'm going to be watching. And that's it.
Man, it just warms my heart to know that somebody that intelligent and that into art and crap thinks that YouTube poop could be something special like that. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I really appreciate that he said all that. Well, I'm out of time. This is Stuart K. Riley, and I'll see y'all.